Margaret Kamar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me an opportunity to contribute to this motion by my dear sister, Senator Catherine Muma. Mr. Speaker, when I read this motion, I had to ask Senator Muma what she means by e-cigarettes, because things are evolving so fast that some of us are not even catching up with what they are. Mr. Speaker, I want to start by agreeing with Senator Alwale that beyond the recommendations that we are being given, we should be going towards a bill. And I want to encourage Senator Muma to quickly move towards developing a bill. Reasons being that the two recommendations he has given are actually recommendations that bring in regulations. They are recommendations that bring control. And this is extremely important at this time, Mr. Speaker. And the only way we can control is to have them in a bill so that we have a law that governs our conduct as far as these e-cigarettes are concerned. Mr. Speaker, we are in a generation that is very disturbing. A generation where we are losing a lot of our children. When I was in the 10th Parliament, and I was with you in the 10th Parliament, Mr. Speaker, I remember the Member of Parliament for Naivasha bringing a plea on the issue of drugs and drinking, and that Naivasha was leading and Limuru was almost on the deathbed. That we have lost youth to all sorts of drugs in form of cigarettes, as we are talking about, in form of drinking, and so forth. At the time, all of us were waking up to the reality that it was not just those two constituencies he mentioned about, but that actually at the backyard of each one of us, we could see children who have completely lost direction because of this. The current laws in the country, Mr. Speaker, are not able to sort out the mess that we are in as far as this one is concerned. In fact, Mr. Speaker, as Senator Alwale was talking of single parents, we even know children of pastors. Children of pastors, children who have been raised in homes that you would have thought they would never have been involved in these things, having been involved, and they're completely out. Shisha, smoking children of pastors. We know that the devil has arrived and is at large, and we cannot run away from it. So it is very important now that we regulate whoever is bringing it. What are you bringing? What is the content of what you are bringing? And what's the content of what you are selling? Mr. Speaker, in our laws, we talk of minimum age at 18. Has it made any impact to anybody? The highest concentration of use of even these cigarettes that I'm learning the name today is in the high schools. Our high schools have really become a den of drugs. Now we're trying to get other rules in the schools through the BOMs to ensure that children come to school, you search them until you almost search them naked to make sure that they are carrying nothing. What does it mean? It means even this age gap of 18 is not working. It means, although we are saying you cannot sell to somebody who is at 18, that is not controlling anything. It means there are people also who are doing business with the younger population. That the main seller may be selling to somebody above 18, but there is somebody else who is delivering the same goods to our children in school. It is something that will be very difficult that has been very difficult to control, because we talk of visiting days. And everybody is worried that visiting days, they don't know whether it is the parents who bring these things, but there are also people who sneak in alongside the parents. Can schools control the parents so that they are sure that the parent is a parent and they don't have any intruder coming in? It's difficult. We also have watchmen in schools. So, Mr. Speaker, my cry is for the young ones that are below 18 that we are losing. Our highest population is in that bracket right now. The highest concentration, the peak population in Kenya is around that bracket. If we lose, we are going to lose more than one generation. So I would like to support this, this motion and really thank Senator Muma for coming with this motion before this House. And that we need to go beyond that, because it has not, what we have has not helped us. What we have has not taken us, has not improved the way we behave. We need to know what comes into the country. We need to know who is actually bringing it. We need to know every brand the way it is. There was a regulation that was put by Parliament sometimes back, Mr. Speaker, that even a cigarette company should label on the cigarette that it is dangerous for your health. Has it stopped people from smoking? No, it has not stopped. So there is something addictive about this, and we need to be even more, to tighten things more. You cannot tell me I'm selling poison, but at the same time, I'm telling you that this poison I'm selling is for, you need to take it in small doses. Because what exactly is being communicated by those who are selling, if they are writing that it's dangerous for your health, and they're still selling. So they're still telling you, you can have a bit, but don't have too much. I think in the new bill, and I want to encourage Senator Muma, that we must regulate it properly. We must have a way of penalizing anybody who is found with those drugs, under 18 in particular in schools. What kind of penalty can we give such a person, such people, to the extent that actually people will be discouraged from destroying that generation? It cannot be allowed to continue as business, because the manufacturers are using the middlemen, and the middlemen are able to reach any age set. It is easy to tell a grown-up to consume less, but our youth don't have control. And then within no time, addiction comes in, and we don't know what to do. In fact, Mr. Speaker, it is very pathetic, because once they are addicted, it's like a disease. We cannot blame them. You can't arrest a drunkard and get anything out of such a person. We just have to rehabilitate them. So, Mr. Speaker, it is very, very important that we regulate by law, so that we know the penalties that go with it. We know even the penalties that go with the students who are found with them. And I'm glad, Mr. Speaker, that as I'm talking, we have wonderful students in very nice uniform sitting up in your gallery. And we want to tell our students, that they are the future of this country. We want to tell our students that they must desist from this kind of behavior, because they are destroying themselves, they are destroying their families, they are destroying our society, and we will lose a generation because of that. We want to tell our students, now that you came to the House when we are discussing drugs, please run away from them. Even the Bible, which I believe says, resist the devil and it will flee from you. If you don't resist this thing, it will catch up with you. When you are fully addicted, it will be very, very difficult for you to get out of it. So we want to encourage our students. You have come here, you have heard our voices today. Please run away from this. In the same law, we are hoping that Senator Muma will come up with. We hope she will give responsibility to parents. How far can parents go? And what do we expect of parents? We need to have responsibility given to the schools, so that the school rules and the BOMs can regulate what comes to school and how things come in and how they go out. We would like to see the responsibility given to government. What is government supposed to do? As the motion has given, there is need to really restrict not only smoking areas, but we need to restrict what it is that our people are smoking. Isn't there a better way of relaxing? Isn't there a better way of giving people things that they can relax with than giving them something that destroys them because you go one way? Mr. Speaker, I'm very happy. I congratulate Senator Moma, and we are telling her to move from this straight to a bill so that we have penalties put in place. With those remarks, I support.
Senator Tabitha Mtindo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I do rise to support Senator Kathy on this